Diolch, Llywydd. What are the Welsh Government's priorities for schools in Mhreseli, Pembrokeshire for the next 12 months?
My priority for schools in Pembrokeshire and across Wales is to see sustained improvement in educational attainment. Our learners must have the best possible educational experiences, and that begins by ensuring they are in school with high quality and experienced teachers who have the highest expectations for them.
Thank you for that response, Cabinet Secretary. Of course, one of the priorities for the Welsh Government in Mhreseli, Pembrokeshire should be the county's school absence rates. Figures from the Welsh Government show that the number of pupils missing school in 2018-19 was 34,177, and that has now rose quite substantially to 66,810 in 2023-2024. Now, I know that a national attendance task force was established midway through this Senedd and that it focused on youth engagement, data and research and peer-to-peer learning. But clearly, in the case of Pembrokeshire, the figures are still just too high. Now, I appreciate that this is not an easy issue to tackle, but at the same time, it does need tackling so that children and young people in Pembrokeshire can actually reach their full potential. Therefore, Cabinet Secretary, can you provide an update on the latest action to address school absence rates in Pembrokeshire? And can you also update us on any discussions that are actually taking place with Pembrokeshire County Council on this issue?
Well, can I thank Paul Davies for that important question? And as I said in my initial answer, obviously if children aren't in school, then they're not going to get to first base. That's why we've said as a government, improving attendance is a top priority for us, and why we've committed to returning attendance rates to the levels they were at before the pandemic. And all our schools are taking action to support attendance and to challenge persistent absences. You've highlighted the work of the task force. That task force completed its work and fed in a series of actions. And at the same time, we've also convened a small deep dive group of experts that I'm working with regularly on attendance. The reasons for absence are varied and complex, and you'll be aware that one of the things that we've prioritised through our it's nearly £9.5 million investment this year is the work of family engagement officers across Wales. Now, I've met with the family engagement officers network. Family engagement officers are doing really excellent work to really get under the skin of the reasons why children and young people aren't attending school. And there can be lots of different barriers. It could be health issues, poverty, parental disengagement, and they're working with families to tackle that. Now, you raised the issue of the local authority. You may be aware that Estyn have recently done a follow-up report to their report on attendance. And one of the recommendations that they made in that report was around setting targets for local authorities. We do have some reservations about setting targets because sometimes these can drive unintended consequences, and there's also workload impacts. I think it's important also to recognise that for some children, just a slight improvement in attendance is a big achievement, and we have to recognise that trajectory as well. So in accepting that recommendation around targets, we are going to be doing some detailed work with local authorities to try to establish some trajectories for improvement, but we're going to do that in a way which hopefully avoids those unintended consequences.